welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. It is going to be a college life hacks and tips video. These are basically the top things that I wish I knew before starting college. You could use a lot of these probably in high school as well. Some of these are life hacks, some of them are just general tips. Let's go ahead and get into it. Number one, if you actually study your notes that you take within 1 day of taking them, you are 60% more likely to retain the information. I'm just saying, I know a lot of us are procrastinators, but you could help remember that information so much better for when you're gonna need to be tested on it. Number two, when writing an essay, if you are trying to make it longer, if you have a number of pages that it has to be or whatever, changing the font size of your periods from 12 to 14, so just the periods at the end of your sentences, actually makes a noticeable difference in making your paper look longer. So might be a little tedious, but I feel like actually changing the font size is a bit too noticeable, so get those periods to a size 14. Number three, bibliographies. I wish I knew this before. The EasyBib app will give you the bibliography of any book if you just scan the barcode of it in the app. That would save so much time typing in all of that stuff to EasyBib to get your bibliography for your papers. Number four, if you can, rent your textbooks for the semester instead of buying them. Textbooks, as you probably know, are extremely expensive, so you can use sites like chegg.com. There's probably other ones as well, and you can rent your textbooks for the semester and then send them back. If you are buying your books or you've already bought them, you can still sell your books at the end of the semester or the end of the year. You can actually compare the rates that they'll give you for your books on, I think, Slug Books. I think you can compare the rates from different sites. I did this recently. I did that with like all of my textbooks, and it's a really nice way to make some extra cash at the end of the semester, at the end of the year. So definitely don't hold on to your books unless you obviously are using them and need them. Sell them for sure. Someone else can use them and you can make that dough. All right, when you're looking for information for essays or you're trying to look through articles, instead of just going to google.com, if you go to scholar.google.com, you can search directly through articles and databases and all of that stuff, and not just everything on Google. I wish I knew that so badly, because I always wish there was an easier way to go through articles or to find actual legitimate sources, and I did not know this existed until recently. Shout out to Google Scholar. This is probably one of my top favorite things that I ever used in school, starting in high school, and I used it all throughout college. Google Drive, or it used to be called Google Docs, is an incredible online resource that I would use to do all of my schoolwork. It basically is like a database where you can do papers, PowerPoints, and the best part about it is for group work, you can have everybody working on one file, and you can, like, real time, you can see the people in your group typing on the same file as you, so you all don't have to work on separate things and then like combine it at the end. You can all just consistently work on it together on Google Drive. I can't tell you guys enough, if you haven't used this before, it is so easy, and it also automatically saves all of your work as you do it, so you don't even have to worry about that. I never even used PowerPoint or Word or any of that. I would use all of that stuff in Google Drive to just work on all of my documents, and it saves it all. All your stuff is just like sorted by date. It is so freaking awesome. I can't even tell you. If you don't use Google Drive, get on that this year. I hate to tell you, but the freshman 15 is real. I think definitely for most people, even if you don't realize it. Of course, have fun. You're in college, especially if it's your first year, like have fun, but also be responsible. I feel like I went crazy when I got to first buy all my own groceries. I would just go crazy because I thought it was so much fun to buy like whatever the heck I wanted all the time, but that really will catch up to you. Obviously, drinking a lot of alcohol, that's just gonna add to it too, so just be responsible. And if you are gonna be, you know, eating really bad and drinking a lot, then just make sure you're taking care of yourself in other ways and trying to work out if you have the time to. Obviously, you don't have to do this, but if you don't, you probably will see a little bit of a toll on your body. It just kind of happens to most of us. Use being a student to your advantage. Use your student ID, and you can get discounts at so many freaking places for being a student, which is incredible because obviously a huge part of college is you're on your own and you are struggling for money a lot of the time. There are so many stores that will offer you a discount for having a student ID. So make sure you have your student ID on you. Just like keep it in your wallet or something. Keep it on you at all times. You can also use Unidays. You can put in where you go to school and it will find you if you are a student in the database, and then you can unlock discounts to all different types of places, you know, like restaurants and stores and all that stuff. I know Topshop does like 10 or 20% off for students. Also, hold on to your student ID after you graduate. I know I have, because you can still show that at a lot of places that accept student IDs. Look up all the places that do have student ID discounts, sign up for Unidays, because seriously, you could be saving yourself a lot of money at places that you might go to all the time regularly. So definitely it's worth looking into. All right, this one's really important for freshmen or if you are going to a new place in a new school. Hear me out. Everyone is feeling the same way that you are. You are not alone with feeling homesick, or even if you're just feeling weird about adjusting to this whole new place, new people, new life. It is so freaking normal, and I feel like people don't talk about it enough because a lot of people might just, you know, overlook it, and everyone's just having a great time, going crazy, making their new friends, and no one's really talking about it. But it definitely can be hard for a lot of people, if not most people, to adjust if it's something that's very different than the life you were living before. So give yourself that time to adjust. I promise with time it will get easier and it will get better, but just know your feelings, whatever you're feeling, if you're happy as heck or if you're sad, like, it is normal to be feeling however you're feeling. For presentations, if you want to spice it up a little bit, do something beyond just a PowerPoint, a really cool online resource is called Prezi. I used this a lot. I do find that it's a little bit more time consuming than a traditional PowerPoint format just to put everything in, but it kind of flows your whole presentation together really cool, and there's all kinds of like in and out. I can't really explain it, but just go on Prezi and I'm sure you can check out some examples if you haven't used it before. But I would definitely recommend this for like a presentation that might be a final presentation, something that you're gonna have to be presenting in front of the class, because it is a really good way to make your presentation stand out from just a typical PowerPoint slide after slide after slide. Please give yourself more time than you think you're gonna need to get to class, to park, to get in the elevator, to walk to class, because I was always leaving 5 or 10 minutes or whatever it was before my class, and I would pretty much be late to every single class. Seriously, give yourself an extra 10 to 15 minutes than you think you're gonna need. Just tell yourself class starts 15 minutes earlier than it actually does. I don't know if that will work for you, but give yourself that time to park, to walk, whatever. And being late all the time, I can tell you from experience, it does not look good. All right, if you haven't already realized this yet, your teachers do not care if you are absent. If you know you're gonna be absent for a trip or whatever it is, you have to get that work beforehand. If you don't go and get it beforehand, you're probably going to get, you know, a late grade. Your teacher probably isn't going to accept it unless they're really cool. You really don't wanna wait until after. This is something for me as well that I really regret, is just I was absent a lot, or I just kind of last minute would decide I wasn't gonna go to class that day, because you can kind of do that in college, but you are missing that work, and it is important to get that work for yourself, or else you're gonna fall behind and your grade is seriously gonna go down, and it's gonna be bad if you're absent a lot. So don't do it unless you have to. In every one of your classes, make a buddy. So seriously, have that person that you guys don't even have to be like friends. You guys don't have to hang out outside of school. Within the first couple weeks of class, meeting someone, if you don't already know someone in the class, exchange phone numbers with them. Tell that person you kind of want to be like buddies in this class. Hey, if you're absent, I'll get the notes for you. If I'm absent, you can get the notes for me. And they'll be that person that you can text if you have questions like, oh shit, I forgot to write down the pages that we're supposed to read. You can just kind of confirm with them, what do we have due tomorrow again? Because I just want to make sure I have everything. It is so important to have this person in every one of your classes. I cannot stress it enough. It's going to help you out so much. They're just like your in-class buddy that is just like, we got each other's back. Where you sit in your classroom, in my experience, has a lot to do with how well you're paying attention, how much your teacher is actually seeing you. If I was to sit in the front row, you know, you really can't have your phone out without the teacher seeing that, and it kind of motivates you to just like sit there, take notes, and to really, really listen if you're sitting in the front. Also, I think it makes a good impression on your teacher because they're seeing your face a lot as opposed to you just sitting all the way in the back. If you are trying to make a good impression on your teacher and you are trying to participate and get a really good grade, I think a way you can help yourself out is by sitting in the front and just paying attention, taking notes, and being on your A game. And my last huge tip for you guys, one of the most important parts of colleges, is really just to make connections with everybody that you can. This is your teachers, this is your guest speakers that you have come into your classes, really everyone that you meet in the span of your college experience. The biggest part for me about going to college that I got out of it really was meeting people, making connections, and networking yourself. That's really important too. I am not so good at this. I kind of forget to network sometimes, but there's really, really easy ways that you can say what you do in conversation, and just meeting people in your same industry or a different major. It is going to just help so much. So get those people's business cards, get those people's phone numbers, get those people's email addresses, and seriously, you don't even realize it, but you guys could help each other out so much down the line just from you meeting this one person and having their information, as opposed to you not having it and never seeing them again. You know, you never know. I know that sometimes it can be intimidating to go up and introduce yourself to someone new, or just to make that connection or ask for someone's information, but seriously, what is the worst that's gonna happen? And lastly, get yourself this book. It is called Life Hacks by Keith Bradford. I will find a link and put it in the description box. There is 1,000 life hacks for everything in here. There's a whole school section, but more than that, there is hacks for everything that you could possibly think of. You can get so much free stuff. If this tips video was helpful to you guys, I would love if you gave it a thumbs up below, and I would also love to hear from you in the comments below. So leave me a comment. I seriously would love to read it, and I'll be responding to a ton of them. If you want to see other tips videos on other things, let me know. Let me know your video ideas and what more you want to see besides weekly vlogs. That will be my next video that you guys see on this channel, of course, my week in my life. And thank you guys for watching. This was really fun to make, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.